everyone. I have a Pilates HIIT class for you today that's a little different because it is all standing. So instead of mixing Pilates work down on the mat with bursts of HIIT, it's going to be Pilates work that's all standing Pilates work. And then we'll go into little bursts of HIIT. If you're new to this class format, pretty much exactly how it sounds. We start with a mat, or in this case, a standing mat Pilates series, and that goes right into a quick burst of interval training. The structure we use for the interval training is a Tabata, so 20 seconds on, 10 seconds of rest. Unlike a traditional Tabata, though, where you do 8 sets straight, there will be times where we just do 4 sets. So it's just 2 minutes of HIIT work. We do that if it's unilateral. You then rest, and then we will start again with a Pilates series that goes right into a quick burst of HIIT. In total, we have 3 different HIIT series today, so this is kind of a roadmap of class. We'll do standing core and inner thigh work. That'll take us right into our first burst of HIIT, and then we repeat on the other side. We're then going to focus in more on lower body, the hip joints, the glutes. We'll do that. That'll take us right into our second burst of HIIT, and then we repeat on the other side. And then to finish, it's going to be upper body focus. It's just going to be one long series, and we finish with our final Tabata, which we will not repeat those, so we will do the full Tabata 8 sets instead of just doing 4 at a time. And if that sounds confusing, don't worry. As we get into class, it'll start making sense. Now, because the Pilates series go right into the HIIT, I'm going to show you a preview of our first Tabata now before we get going in class. So the first 2 exercises you're going to do, it's going to be a sumo squat hop and then a crunch elbow to knee. Hop, crunch, we stay on the same side. Second exercise, we build off that sumo. It's a sumo squat hop, and then we pivot to a lunge hop, pivot back open into our sumo. So to keep those low impact, instead of doing the hop, you can do a pulse instead, and I'll have those low impact modifications playing. For equipment, you're going to need a set of light hand weights. I'm using a set of 2-pound weights, so each one is 2 pounds. If you don't have light hand weights, household objects work too. You could use soup cans, you could use lacrosse balls, anything you can grip to add a little extra weight. We are also going to incorporate a stool. Mine is off to the side for now because we won't use it till later. But a stool or a chair with a high back or a counter, you're just going to want something to have your hands on for balance work when we get a little further into class. Other than that, though, that's the only equipment you need. So let's start with our warm-up. We'll get right into it. So I want you to grab your weights, and we're going to start with just some diaphragmatic breathing. So we want to find a neutral stance. You can kind of march in place a little bit, and then you're just going to settle into it. Feet are about hips distance apart. Arms are down by your side, and kind of use the weight of those hand weights to gently pull your shoulders down so that we don't hike the shoulders up and create unnecessary tension in the neck when we breathe. Now we're going to inhale through the nose, and as we do, you want to focus on expanding your rib cage 3-dimensionally. We're going to exhale slowly out through the mouth. And as we do, the ribs move gently in and down. There's a bracing of the abdominal wall, a little lift of the pelvic floor. We inhale through the nose, expand into the rib cage, relax the pelvic floor. Long endurance breath out through the mouth. One more just like this. And then I want you to lift those arms up parallel to the floor. Now as you inhale, one arm is going to go up, one arm is going to lower down. And as you exhale, we brace through the core, you bring those arms parallel. Inhale, switch which arm goes up, which goes down. So we're maintaining that diaphragmatic breath pattern, just adding in a little movement of the arms. Move slowly with the breath. One more each side. And pause with those arms parallel. Now from here, we're going to do a sort of a cat-cow variation. As you exhale, I want you to press the weights forward. I want you to round forward through the mid-spine, spinal flexion. Now as you inhale, I want you to start to come up into spinal extension. Gaze shifts up, roll the elbows back, open through the chest. Exhale, press it forward, round. Unlock through the knees. Inhale, chest opens, gaze shifts slightly up. Give me one more. Really separate the shoulder blades as you press those weights forward. Fill the space in that mid-back. Inhale, open it up. And I want you to just come through a neutral spine and reach those arms forward. On an inhale, we're going to twist. You can start to the right. And as you exhale, come through center, take it over to the other side. So our hips are not twisting. The twist comes from the mid-spine and up. And we're not over twisting through the neck. So the neck just falls in line with the mid-spine. One more to either side. And coming through center, I want you to shift both weights into your right hand, and we're going to bring that right arm overhead. Now, at any point if having both weights is too much, ditch one and just use one, okay? But I only want the weight in the right hand. Left arm can reach forward. We're going to start with just a march of that opposing left knee. So as you exhale, you're going to brace to the core. Left knee marches up. As you inhale, we replace it to the ground. Keep going like that. So for the standing core series, we're going to explore a lot the relationship between the core and the hip flexors. Your hip flexors are part of your core. Coming up, we're going to have a hold. Keep going in your march. This light keeps flickering. I'm just going to turn it off because I feel like it's going to be annoying. Okay, there we go, much better. Sorry, I was just staring at it out of the corner of my eyes the whole time. I'm like, oh God, this is not going to translate well onto film. Hopefully I'm not too dark now. Next time you march this knee up, I want you to hold it lifted. And from here, we're just going to kick that leg out straight and then bend the knee. So a bit of a balance challenge. Now, this is also a shoulder endurance challenge for sure. At any point, if it gets to be too much, holding the weights overhead, bring it down like this onto your shoulder. Now, something I want you to focus on as you kick that leg straight. Notice as the leg goes straight, are you tucking under through the tailbone? I do not want that. So we want neutral tailbone. So that might mean you lower your leg a little bit so the kick is at a slight downward angle. It does not have to be straight parallel to the floor. I'm pretty tight through the backs of my legs, so mine is not. Now, next time you kick that leg straight, I want you to hold it straight, and we're just going to lower it down, tap the floor. Exhale, lift. Reach long through the legs. We're very active through the quads. Lift without tucking, so I don't care how high up the leg gets. Now we're going to add in the movement of this opposite right arm, okay? So next time that leg lifts, can you lower that arm parallel to the floor? And we return them. Exhale, arm lowers just to parallel, leg lifts. Inhale, reach them up. Two more and then we hold. Next time the leg lifts and the arm lowers, we are going to hold. You're breathing, you're braced to that abdominal wall. We're neutral through the pelvis. We're going to bend this left knee. Right arm goes overhead in 3. In 2. Bend the knee, bring the arm overhead. We are going to do a crunch, elbow to knee. I want you to lower that foot to the floor. As you exhale, right elbow is going to come across to left knee. And then we return to standing. Exhale, crunch, rounding forward slightly, opening up. Woo, lost my balance there. You can always do this next to a wall or a chair and have this left hand on something for support. So we're going to take this into a combo, adding in a little bit of a dynamic move. It's going to be a wood chopper. So we're going to do one of these crossbody crunches, and then we're going to squat down. We're going to kind of swing the weight to the outside of our left hip. You can watch me do the first one, okay? So we're going to do the crunch across, and now we replace the foot. We are going to squat as we do, as we send our hips back. We're going to swing the weight to the outside of that left hip. We're going to bring it back up overhead as we march. We crunch, come up, squat and hinge, up to balance. So increasing the challenge for our core, coming out of that dynamic swing into our march. Clearly it's hard because I flubbed that one. It's also hard when you're talking. Use your breath to help with control. Crunch, upright, swing, So when we do that swing, it's a hinge of the hips. So you're sending your hips back. We stay long through the chest. We rotate. It's tight. So this is what it looks like from the side at the bottom. And then we bring it upright, balance, face you. Two more. Last time, we're going to hold in the knee drive balance. Hold, and just give me 4 crunches to finish. Elbow to knee, keep the knee lifted. Twist. Press it up, that's 1. I know that stabilizing right leg is working hard. Last time. Bring it up, plant the foot down, pedal out the feet. Woo! So we're going to bring one weight into either hand. And I want you to bring your legs together so the heels are going to stay touching, and we're going to externally rotate from the legs, okay? So the feet are pointing outward. One weight in either hand, and let's bring them out in a T shape with the palms facing forward. You're going to give me a calf raise. So we're going to lift those heels up, and we're going to lower them down. So we have a little bit of lower leg work and inner thigh work. Really total body work, still core, shoulder endurance for sure. Next time you lift those heels up, I want you to hold them lifted. We're going to do a little diamond squat. You don't have to come very low, only as far down as feels comfortable for your knees. Just going to be a little bend and straighten. A little bend and straighten. Now at any point, if holding the arms out wide is too much, you can always bring them into heart center, okay, like this. That'll be a little easier. We're going to hold in the squat position, and we're going to flip the cup with the arms. So next time you bend down into that diamond shape, you're upright through the torso. I want you to flip, palms face back, palms face forward. Bend, stretch, bend, stretch. Now we're going to go back to the squat, but we're going to switch up the foot position slightly. Right now, our heels touch when they're down, but they're separate with the heels lifted. We're going to step together so the heels touch when they're lifted. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish with your palms facing forward. Straighten the legs, keep the heels lifted, and just step them together, okay? So now the heels are pressing in, and go back to your diamond squat. Down and up. Doesn't have to be huge, but when you come up, I want you to really focus on engaging through your adductors, those inner thighs. Squeeze them into midline. We're going to hold the squat. We're going to flip the cup again with the arms. Next time you go down, you're going to hold, flip the cup, palms back, palms forward. Can you get 1 inch lower through the legs? Now we're going to move between a straight leg position with the heels lifted into a sumo squat position. Your right leg is going to be the stationary one. Your left will step out in 3, 2, 1. Pause with your palms forward, straighten the legs, your heels are lifted. Now we're going to take our left leg, and we're going to step it out into a sumo squat, and as we do, we're going to bring the weights into our chest, okay? Heels are down in the sumo squat. Now we're going to come back to that starting position, heels lifted if possible. Step it out, heels down. Exhale, zip the inner thighs together, heels are lifted, arms go out. Inhale as you lower, exhale, brace for the core. Come up. Woo! 2 more. We're going to hold in the sumo squat. Come down to your sumo squat, hold. Now from here, I want you to give me calf raises. Lift the heels and lower. Knees are tracking in line with your middle toes. So really press them out. Pretty upright through the torso. Get ready to hold those heels lifted. Hold the heels lifted, pulse the legs down and up. Down and up. Now, if you're up for the challenge, I want you to take those arms out. We have 1 more round to flip the cup. You got it. And then we go right into our Tabata. Hold the legs, flip the arms in 3, 2. Hold the legs, keep the heels lifted, flip the palms. Forward and back. Bend, stretch, bend, stretch. Now this right leg is gonna be our base leg for our sumo squat hop crunch. So when we do the crunch, it'll be left knee to left elbow. Heels will be down for it, okay? We'll no longer be in the calf raise. Get ready. We're gonna goal post those elbows. 3, 2, 1. Goal post the elbows, heels go down, let's go. Squat hop, crunch, you're mirroring me. Sumo squat hop, left elbow to left knee. Right leg is the base, you got it. We get a nice long recovery after this Tabata. And again, it's just half a Tabata, okay? 4 work intervals. Rest. All right, we're gonna build off that, but weights can just be at heart center. Sumo squat hop, pivot to the right, lunge hop. So find that sumo position, hop, pivot, lunge hop, pivot open. Every time you're gonna pivot to the right, so the right foot is always forward in the lunge hop. Rest. All right, just going through the 2 one more time. We go pulse the elbows, sumo squat position, same side. Hop, crunch. You're mirroring me. Elbow to knee. Rest. Hands can come to heart center. Sumo squat hop. Pivot to the right. 20 seconds, and then get a nice long recovery. Let's go. Rest. Whew. All right, so we're gonna do that whole thing from the top. We'll just do it on the other side. But grab a sip of water if you need it. You have about a minute to shake it out and recover. So I'm gonna be doing this with both weights in my left hand to start, but you can always drop down to just one weight, absolutely fine, or at any point in class, go body weight only. And if you need a little balance assistance, have your right hand on a wall, a chair, something for support, okay? So we're gonna start with that, just simple march. We're gonna press the weights overhead. Now, let's make sure before we get going that we are not dumping our pelvis forward. This is a common postural misalignment. So I want you to just gently unlock through the knees and think of bracing through the core so that our pelvis is in a neutral position, okay? And then from here, we will march. So on an exhale, that right knee lifts up. Inhale, lower it down to the ground. Now, as you lift the knee up, try not to hike the hip up. So I want your hips to stay pretty level to the floor. Oh man, I have to shut the air conditioner units off in my apartment to film because we have window units and they're very loud. And it gets so hot in here so fast. We're on the top floor, so all the heat in the building rises to the top. And I just struggle through the whole class, especially longer ones like this one. I'll probably honestly have to take a break at the halfway point and turn the air conditioning on for a little bit. But through the magic of video editing, you will not know. It'll be a continuous class. Just because I'm dying doesn't mean you have to. All right, next time you march that knee up, hold it up. And we're just going to kick this leg straight on an exhale and bend. Again, leg doesn't have to kick parallel to the floor. Maybe you go down at an angle. You want to be cognizant of what's going on with your tailbone. We don't want to tuck under. We want to keep that neutral alignment of the pelvis. We have our next change coming up. We're going to hold the leg straight. We're going to lift and lower it. So next time you kick it straight, hold it straight, really active through the quads as if you could lift your kneecaps up. And we're going to lower it to the floor in front of us. Exhale, lift. Reach long through the leg. As the leg lifts up, we maintain that neutral lower spine. That's where our core engagement comes in. Now, can we add in the movement of that left arm? So as the right leg lifts up, the left arm lowers parallel to the floor. And we lift up. So it's kind of like a bird dog variation here. going to finish with a hold. So next time the leg lifts and the arm lowers, I want you to hold. They're as close to parallel as your body allows, but that leg may not be parallel. That's fine. Now on my count, we're going to bend the knee. The weights go overhead. We're going to add in that twist in 3, 2, bend the knee, weight goes overhead. Now you can replace that right foot to the floor. On an exhale, it is going to be left elbow to right knee. So we march up and we rotate. So there's flexion here. We are rounding forward through the spine. So we have that combo coming up, that wood chopper swing. The weights will come to the outside of your right hip as we do that kind of squat, that hip hinge. Think more hip hinge than squat. And you can always watch me do the first one if that helps. Let's take it to that combo. So you crunch, come to stand, hinge and swing, back to balance. Elbow to knee, upright, foot comes down, hinge the hips. I recommend exhaling as you come up to stand in the balance. And that's just going to help you stabilize. My balance is so much better on this side. Wow, night and day. First side, I was wobbling all over the place. Very normal to notice differences between your sides, and that's why it's so important to do this type of unilateral movement where we isolate one side at a time so that imbalances can be addressed and weaknesses can be worked on without the dominant side taking over. Last one, and then we're going to hold in the march. Hold in the march. Just give me 4 of the crunches. Keep the knee lifted. Elbow to knee. Upright. Last time. March it out real quick. All right, so one weight in either hand now. So standing up, I want you to externally rotate. So heels are going to be together, feet and legs wrapped outward. Weights are going to come out to the side in a T shape, but if this gets to be too much, bring them to heart center. Give me your calf raise. Spread out through the toes and make sure that when you lift up onto the balls of your feet, you're going through the big toe. So press your big toe into the ground. If you roll out through the ankle too much, then we kind of avoid going through the big toe, and that's not good. So we're really active through the glutes here to maintain this external rotation. I know we got a big challenge for the upper body during this whole series. We're going to put the weights down for our next chunk, okay, of class. Next time you lift those heels up, you're going to hold them lifted, and we're going to do that diamond squat. You don't have to come down super low. Next time down, hold, and we flip the palms. They face back and forward. Bend, stretch. Keep pressing the knees outward, maintaining that external rotation. So we're going to stand up. You're going to keep the heels lifted, legs come together in 3, 2, 1. Palms face forward, straighten the legs, and now just step the heels together so that they're pressing in. The heels stay lifted. We diamond squat down. And as you come up, really squeeze those inner thighs together. If your arms are getting tired, bring them into your center of gravity, maybe just for a couple reps as needed, and then try to send them back out. Squeeze those inner thighs together at the top. So I want you focusing more energy on this upward motion, that upper squeeze. Keep pressing the knees out. Externally rotated from that hip joint. And next time you go down, you're going to hold. Flip those arms, palms back, palms forward, bend, stretch, bend, stretch. We're going to step to a sumo squat. When we do, it's the right foot that steps out. 4, 3, 2, pause with the palms forward, come to straight legs. Now you're gonna step your right foot out. As you do, weights come into center. So heels are down at the bottom of the sumo squat. We're gonna try to lift them as we come back to that starting position. Exhale. Woo, heel step together. End of the sumo squat. One more and then we'll hold in the sumo. Come down to your sumo, hold. Press out through the knees or tracking in line with your middle toes, calf raises, heels lift and lower. So we're approaching the second half of that Tabata. Same thing we did before, just to the other side. Next time those heels lift up, hold them lifted, pulse the legs. So we have one more round to flip the cup. Can you bring those arms out straight? We'll take out the pulse of the legs, but we will keep the heels lifted if possible. We'll flip the cup with the hands in 3, 2, 1. Flip the arms forward, back. So we're coming into that Tabata. Keep going with the arms. I just have to press my timer on, okay? They're still flipping. Heels are gonna be down. It'll be sumo squat and crunch, and when we do the crunch, it'll be right elbow to right knee. Get ready to drop those heels, goal post the arms in 3. Let's go. Whoop. Just kidding with the 3 count. Right into it. Sumo squat, hop, crunch. You're mirroring me. Okay, rest. So sumo squat, hop, and then we're going to pivot to the left. Lunge hop. Weights can be at heart center. Let's go. Sumo, pivot, lunge. Rest. Sumo hop, crunch. Right side crunches. Last time you're going to see each exercise in this Tabata. Rest. Final 20. Get a nice long recovery. Hop, pivot, pivot to the left. Go. Rest. All right, you get a full minute. So we get a new mat series. I'm going to grab my stool, grab yours. Again, a stool works, a chair with a high back works, a counter, something is what I'm going to use. So our first Tabata was kind of sumo focused. This second Tabata is going to be curtsy focused. And before we even get to it, if curtsy lunges bother your knees, you can give me a back lunge instead, okay? So the first exercise is going to be a curtsy to a kick sweep, curtsy, kick sweep, no jumping in that one. But if you want to modify, I would do a knee drive instead of the straight sweep, a little easier to stabilize that way. Second exercise is going to be a jump squat, and then at the bottom of your squat, you step to a curtsy, back to a low squat. And to keep that one low impact, instead of the jump squat, just give me an air squat up and down, keeping your feet on the floor. Same thing as before, because this is unilateral work, we complete just half a Tabata, and then we repeat the whole thing from the top. So we will start with the right leg as the focus. We don't need our weights for this one, okay? Yay, put them off to the side, but we're not done with them totally. I'm just gonna move my stool over here just for camera stuff, don't worry about it. But we're going to start in a lunge position. So about arm's distance from your stool or chair. I want you to slide the hips back, maintain length through the spine so it's a hinge. We haven't come out of neutral. Your right foot is gonna stay planted and you're gonna reach your left leg back. Okay, now from this position, we're just going to lift and lower our back left leg. Whoop, as I kick my couch. There we go. So our left leg is lifting and lowering. It's going to be kind of more of our mover here, but the focus is really going to be on the stabilizing right side, okay? Right side, as we progress through, is going to have to do more work. Now, as we lift this leg up, think of squeezing your glutes. Don't arch into your lower back. So the lower back is maintaining neutral. We're not creating the movement through the lower back. It comes from the glutes powering. Stay really active through the quads, the front of your thigh, and that's going to help hold the legs straight. Lift on the exhale. We're staying active through the core here. Now with your standing right leg, there's a little softness to the knee. So make sure you're not totally locked out straight. Next time this left leg lifts up to a hover, I want you to hold it at a hover and we're going to sweep it out to the side. And then we're going to sweep it back almost towards a curtsy, but keep it hovering. The toes might graze the floor. Sweep it out. So almost think side lunge to curtsy. Now, can you reach your hips back a little further just so that we sink slightly lower on the standing right side? Now, as the leg is sweeping side to side, our hips are not moving. There's no twisting through the waist. So it is really just the leg moving within the hip joint. Might feel a little clunky, a little clicky. That is okay. We're kind of wringing out or lubricating up that hip joint here with some movement. Now, next time the leg sweeps up and out to the left, I want you to hold it there, and I want you to lower and lift. It's a small little lift and lower. Reach your hips back slightly. Stay open through the chest. Now, we're going to do that same sweeping motion, but we're going to do it with a bent knee. 3, 2, next time you lift that straight leg up, hold it at a hover, and now bend the knee. Now, with a bent knee, you might be able to lift it a little higher. We're kind of in this hydrant position. We're going to start to sweep this left knee back and across, and as we do, I want you to sink a little lower on the right side, almost as if you were sitting your right butt cheek down in an invisible chair. And then we come up and we swing that left knee up and out. Across, so it's kind of this hovering weird curtsy, and up and out to the side. We get lower on the standing right leg as we go towards the curtsy. We come up a little bit as we come to the hydrant. Now we're going to hold in that curtsy coming up, and we're going to pulse. So give me one more swing out to the side, across over to the right. Now hold here and just pulse down and up on that right side. Now as you do this, I want you to straighten out your left leg a little bit so the top of the foot is lightly grazing the floor. We're going to move between this curtsy into a full stand. So we're going to stand upright on the right, left knee comes up. In 3, 2, let's take it to a full range. So we're going to stand up, balance, take your hands off the stool, left knee comes up, and then we're going to sink it down, hands come. Top of the foot lightly grazes the floor in that sort of hovering curtsy. We're not shifting weight into this left foot as it slides back. We're just using it for a little bit of support so that we can get low on our right side and up. So we have just one more round of the pulses at the bottom, and then we go right into our Tabata. So this is a quicker series than the first one. Last time like this, we're going to hold in that curtsy. Top of your back left foot lightly grazing the floor, and then just lift it up to a hover, and let's bend and press on the right side. If you want a balance challenge, maybe you take your hands away. So we have curtsy to a kick sweep up next. So you are going to shift weight into your back foot, okay? This left foot will step on the floor in our low curtsy, and then we'll kick the left leg up and out to the top. Let's go. So curtsy, kick sweep. Curtsy lunge, kick. Woo! Left crosses behind right, and then left kicks up and out to the left. You can do a knee drive instead of the kick sweep. Rest. So now it's going to be a squat jump, curtsy low squat. You can do an air squat instead of the jump squat. We stay on the same side, so when you do the curtsy, let's go. Jump squat, left crosses behind right. Stay low as you transition from the curtsy to the squat. Get some air on that jump squat. Rest. One more time each exercise, still staying with this right leg as the focus. Curtsy kick sweep. Right foot planted. Brace through your core as you come upright and think of firing into the right side glutes. Rest. Squat jump, step to curtsy, back to low squat. Let's go. Right foot stays planted, left crosses. Rest. Whew, okay, longer recovery. So we're gonna do that whole thing on the other side. Woo. Update, still haven't stopped to turn my AC on. So I feel like I'm working out like in a hot parking lot in the middle of August. All right, so you know the drill. It's going to be the left foot that is our focus, or that stays planted as kind of our base leg. Both legs work though. If you need a quick sip of water, now's the time to grab it. Okay, let's do this. I know it's very targeted to this area, but it's a pretty quick series, okay? We got it, but if you do need longer to recover, hit pause on the video. We're going to stand about arm's distance from our stool. And then we slide those hips back. We hinge with the torso. Hands are going to come lightly to it. Spread out through those left toes. Really ground down through your left foot. And then we send the right leg back. You're unlocked through this left side. So you're in a lunge position. It doesn't have to be your absolute deepest lunge, but there's a bend, okay? Think lunge. Now let's reach long through this right leg. We lift and lower. Woo, I feel the work the glutes have to do to lift the leg on this side since it's already fatigued, and we just did that whole series. Remember, we got to stay active through the quads, through the front of the leg. By staying active through the quads, what it's going to do is it's going to inhibit the hamstrings from taking over for the glutes, okay? When you lift a straight leg, if you notice your knee wanting to bend, that your hamstrings are kicking in, okay? Not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes we want the hamstrings to kick in, but in this instance, let's try to get the glutes to fire to lift the leg. We're bracing through the core so that there's no excessive arching in the lower back. Next time that leg lifts up, we're gonna hold it at a hover and we're gonna sweep. So it sweeps up and out to the right, and then it sweeps across and over to the left. Maybe the toes lightly brush against the floor. So we're kind of thinking side lunge to curtsy, tracing this semicircle. Reach the hips back so that maybe we just sink a slightly deeper on this left side. Ooh, I'm experiencing a little foot cramp. A little tip, if your foot ever starts cramping when you're doing work with the toes pointed, relax the toes, okay? And just focus on pointing through the ankle, and that will help relieve it a little bit. When we get over involved pointing or flexing the toes, that's usually when cramps can happen. All right, now let's hold that leg up and out to the right, and you're gonna lift and lower. So it taps the floor and lifts. Reach farther back through the hips. Stay open to the chest. We're going to repeat that sweep, but with a bent knee in 4, 3, 2. Hold that leg at a hover, and now bend this right knee. You can probably lift it up a little higher in this hydrant position. As we sweep it back and across, we're going to sink a little lower on the left. And then we bring it open. So think hydrant to this kind of hovering curtsy. Get deeper on the left with the curtsy. You can come up a little bit as you hydrant. When you do the hydrant, really lift up and out. We're going to hold in the curtsy position for pulses. Give me one more full range. And then next time you come to that curtsy, you're going to hold your open through the chest. We pulse on the left side. So we're going to start mixing in a little bit of balance and control. We move between this position to the standing position. Drive the right knee up in 3, 2, 1. We're going to stand all the way up. Hands come off the stool. Right knee crunches up. Fire through the left side glutes. Start to slide the hips back, coming into that hovering curtsy. Hands to the stool to allow us to get really low on that left side. Not super low, but you know what I mean. Lower than we'd get if it was a strict balance. So we have one more round of the pulses at the bottom, and then we go into that Tabata work. Last time. And then next time you are down in that hovering curtsy, we're going to pulse. Top of the foot can be lightly on the floor. Oh, I think I cued that for the whole time on the first side. That's okay. Close enough. So we're approaching that Tabata. Now, when we get to the Tabata, you are going to tuck your right toes under. We are going to shift weight into that right foot. The left will stay planted. Curtsy kick sweep coming up. Can you get a little lower in these pulses? Let's go. Curtsy, kick sweep. Woo! First one. Balance is not on point. Right steps behind left, right kicks to the side. Rest. All right, now it's squat jump. From the low squat, step to a curtsy. Left stays planted. I'll turn to face you, just give you a different angle. Let's go. Squat jump. Right steps behind left. Woo, rest. All right, one more time each side. Curtsy kick sweep. Left foot is planted. Rest. Squat jump, curtsy. Final 20, then you get a long recovery. Let's do it. Done. All right, we are done with the stool, so you can move it out of the way, but we will grab our weights. We're going to do an upper body series that'll take us into our final Tabata, which is pretty much cardio based. Okay, so here's a preview of that Tabata. So the first exercise is going to be jumping jack punches. When the feet go wide, a hand crunches across, and you're just alternating side to side. Keep that, there we go, low impact, it would be step and punch, step and punch. Second exercise, still keeping the punch theme going, it's going to be a squat jump with a pulse at the top in the air, and again, you're alternating. To keep that one low impact instead of a jump, it is an air squat. So because this is just one long arm series, it's going to be one long Tabata. So we do 8 sets straight instead of splitting it in half, okay? So that's all we have to get through, and then we cool down. Let's grab those weights, and let's get into our arm series. So this is going to be similar or kind of reminiscent of the arm songs I do. Let's roll those shoulders up and back so that we're open through the chest, but then we close the rib cage, gently engage through the core. Unlock through your knees, neutral pelvis. I want you to start with the forearms parallel, elbows bent at 90, and we're just going to start with a lateral rotation, so a gentler move to start things. Rotating open, the elbows stay in tight, we're just hitting the rotator cuff. Still haven't stopped filming to turn my air conditioner on. So I'm currently working out on the surface of the sun right now. Just a little dramatic. We're going to hold the lateral rotation. Ooh, my glutes are twitching from that last series, even though they're not really doing much right now. Next time you rotate laterally, hold that lateral extension. hold the lateral rotation, and we're gonna go into a lateral extension. Arms go up and out and in. I'm losing the ability to form full sentences because it's so hot in here. I'll stop now, I promise. I'll shut up about it. Pull the elbows in, press the weights out. Next time the weights go out, just give me a little pulse, extended. Out, out. Now at any point through this upper body work, if you feel like you're sinking into your lower back, I want you to try a staggered stance. So you just plant the ball of one foot like 6 inches behind you, like a little kickstand. So we're gonna go back to those full range lateral extensions, but we're gonna add in an overarm sweep in 4, 3, 2, 1. So you're gonna pull the elbows in towards your rib cage, and then as you start to send them out, I want you to circle up and around, weights hit at the top. Circle down, pull the elbows in. So we're kind of tracing circles here. It's like a snow angel with a pull in of the elbows at the bottom, circling up at the top. So this arm series is an endurance challenge. That burn is gradually going to build over time. Your goal is to not drop the arms, but of course at any point, if you need to go lighter with the weights or pause, do so. We're going to do one more round of those pulses with the arms laterally extended. So next time you send those arms up and out, little pulses. So we're going to see a move we've seen before, that sort of flip the cup motion in 4, hold them extended, 3, 2, hold them out. And now it's a little bend stretch of the elbows as you flip. I want palms to the floor, palms forward, palms to the floor, palms forward. We're going to transition from weights out to the sides to weights in front of us. In 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, palms down in 3, 2, hold with your palms down, and now you're just going to sweep them in front, and then you're going to open them back out to the side. They come forward to the side. As they open up to the side, I want you to retract your shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades slide in towards each other slightly. Bring them forward. Out and forward. In 4, you're going to hold with the arms forward. In 3. In 2. Last time. Hold those arms forward, and now keeping them at about shoulder height, we're going to row the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and press them forward. Row them back and forward. Woo! Back and forward. There's that burn. We're going to keep this going, but we're going to turn it into a combo, adding in a rotation into a goalpost position. So you row, rotate open, rotate parallel, press them forward. So we'll finish up with the elbows bent. A few more variations to get through, okay? You're almost there. Give me one more here. And holding goalposts, shoulder shapers, close and open, close and open. I think you have 2 more variations to get through, okay? 2 more after this. You can do that. End is in sight. We're going to hold with the arms in front, and we're going to pulse up and down. So think about making the number 11 with your forearms. Close them in front, you lift, lift. Keep them parallel. Notice the elbows probably want to move out here. Don't let them. So our final variation coming up, the weights are going to touch, so hands are going to come together, and we're just going to squeeze the elbows in towards each other. In 4, 3, 2, 1, hold with the elbows at shoulder height. Bring the weights together. Now squeeze those elbows in. They may touch, they may not. In. This is it. This is where you finish. I know biceps and shoulders are probably talking to you. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5. Tabata in 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the arms. Give me a quick shake out. So we're coming into that Tabata. It's going to be those jumping jack punches to start, okay? So you're going to punch across when the feet jump out. Step jacks to modify. Let's go. You can always do it body weight if you need to drop the weights. You can always step instead of jump. So in under 4 minutes, we cool down. You can do it. Rest. Squat jump with a punch at the top. Air squat to modify. Same deal with the punches. Think about going to the outside of the opposite shoulder. Go. Jumping jack punches. Let's go. Out, out. Punch, punch. Rest. Okay, squat jump with a punch. Let's go. Rest. Okay, we're halfway there. Halfway. We can do it. Start from the top of those jumping jacks, out to the opposite shoulder. Go, punch across, punch across. Rest. Squat jump with the punch. 3 pushes to go. We got this. Go. Rest. Okay, final set. One more time each exercise. We can do it. Go. Jumping jacks. Light on the balls of our feet. Out and in, out and in. So close to the end. Rest. Okay. Final 20. Squat jump with that push. Let's get some air with that punch. Let's get some air during the squat jump. Go. Bring it. Right to the end. Final 2 seconds. And you're done. Weights down. Oh, we did it. I could feel my facial expressions get real special during those last 20 seconds. Oh. All right, I'm gonna bring you through a cool down. Let's start with standing quad. I know I start with this one a lot, but it's nice to do an upright stretch when you're really out of breath so you can allow the heart rate to come down. Make sure you're dropping the tailbone down, bracing through the core. Release that foot, other side. And I want to make sure that we get outer hips. Let's actually come to sit down on our mat to finish up. I want you to take one foot outside the other thigh and hug the knee into your chest. And you can stay here or you can take it into a twist. Looking over the shoulder, maintaining length through the spine though. Coming through center, let's switch sides. Option to take it to the twist. And then we can round out this cool down with some fluid movement. So come to a comfortable cross-legged position. We're going to tent the fingertips to either side. We're just going to side bend up and over, and other side. You can stay like this, or you can add in a rotation. So you would side bend, rotate your chest towards the floor, reach that top arm down, up and over. Oh, feels so good through that mid back and the lats. One more time each side. Come up through center, and let's finish with one deep breath. We inhale, arms up. We exhale, let it go. And that is your class. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.